Today, I will tell you a story about how I got the best greatsword in Guild Wars 2. So have you ever heard of this game called The Elder Scrolls Online? Because it is a very important thing in this video, alright? I will be talking about it for 1 minute, but you will have to bear with me, alright? Let's start. So, The Elder Scrolls Online is an MMORPG that is on every single console plus PC. There is no cross-platform. That is very sad. It's an adventure game, so you go on your own way, your character gets better and better, stronger and stronger, you can get to a super high level, you can craft stuff. It's not all about grind, it's more about adventures with your friends. You kill some mobs, some big bosses, you go on large scale quests. The main story is amazing, there's many DLCs. You know, it's a very nice game with poor graphics, but it's fine. We don't care about graphics when it comes to MMOs, cause, you know, as long as the game is good, that's what they say. MMOs are basically like Sword Art Online. It's literally the same genre. Now let's talk about the actual story I'm gonna tell you today, right? I told you, 1 minute, exactly 1 minute. I'm good, I know. March 2023. All games I play are mostly dead. New World, Elder Scrolls Online, Call of Duty. So why not just check on Steam for the free games, you know, free to play games. So I scroll down, I find this game, Lost Ark, but find out it's highly pay to win. And then a little bit down, I see Guild Wars 2, but it doesn't appeal to me, you know. I see like a furry on top and a little insect thing. I don't even know what that is. And then my friend says, "Hey, we should download that game actually. It looks fun." It always goes like that before an addiction, man. So what we did first in the game was trying to figure out the controls, how to put it in action cam, because I can't do it, man, with tap target shit. No, I just can't. So I was trying to find what I liked about this game compared to Elder Scrolls Online, because it was my go-to when it came to MMOs. And then I realized that this game, despite the graphics, was very beautiful. So if you wanna see how it really looked like first, this is what it looked like when I started playing with, you know, like the bloom and shit. It's a bit too much light, in my opinion, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, after level 10, I got my first mount, which is the Raptor. So it's basically a horse, but in Guild Wars. Means you can just jump very far with it and go fast. That's pretty much it. At this point in the game, I didn't know anything about it. Almost like nothing about it. All I knew is that I had a mount, I could level up. I didn't even know the max level. I knew the game was free to play but had expansions and no sub to it. So, you know, I thought it was nice. You know, you can play the game, and if you don't like it, okay, that's fine, you just leave. I had my sword on my back, exploring again Queensdale, like every single day. And at this time, my friends and all stopped playing the game, because as a gamer I was way too far for them to compete. And I saw the most beautiful thing I've had ever seen in any games. Like, I'm not joking. The Knight's Sword. I didn't know what it was called. I didn't know where it came from, but this man, he had it on his back. It looked so cool, and I thought to myself, wait, it fits so well with a Reaper. Because yeah, my class is Necromancer with subclass Reaper. But yeah, it felt so like I had to get it. And so now, I had a goal set. And sadly for me, when I have a goal, I have to reach it. I have to reach it. And so I bought the actual game, so it cost like $150 for all the expansion. I've done all the stories missions. Alright? Alright? You good now? And after 1,000 hours of playing the game, now I can actually explain how the grind works. That's the interesting part, according to me. Alright? So yeah, let's get into it right now. After a couple days, I finally found the name of the sword, which is the Twilight. I had to go on my way and find a guy who could help me learn how to craft it. It is this man here. He sells tomes of many legendary weapons, and here was the Twilight, the first tome. So I bought it. And what was in it was not very nice. Grind. So in order to get the plan, or the blueprint if you like, I had to get all these items. It was not very hard since it was just world map completion type of shit. So I had to get some object out there that were, tied to the magic of the sword. That was not very tough. Then I had to craft the Dusk Experiment, which was a mix of very weird metal pieces. But to craft it I needed this thing. But I needed to craft a lot of things in order to just make this tier 1 experiment dusk sword. But the next part was even more tedious, since I had to go get the second tome of the Twilight Sword and go into fractals to get some pieces or achievements tied to the sword again. But the only thing is that fractals are like small dungeons, and I had to do them over and over and over and over again, only to find small pieces that could help me build this sword. So after all those achievements I had to get, I was finally able to craft the Dusk, which is called in the Guild Wars language a precursor. A precursor is like of the legendary weapon. So you have to get the precursor in order to then transform it into a legendary weapon. But even if I was done with all that, having crafted the experimental swords and the Dusk, I was very far from the end. In Guild Wars 2 there's this thing called the Mystic Forge in Lion's Arch. Its main use is for crafting. Like you kind of mix like a recipe and it gives you stuff. For example, the Night Sword. The Twilight. And many other legendaries are being created here. So it's a very, very important thing. Now let me show you how I'm supposed to assemble all this to make the Twilight. So first we need the Dusk, then the Gift of Twilight, Gift of Mastery, and a Gift of Fortune. But how exactly do I get those gifts? Let's start with this one. Gift of Metal. How do I get the Gift of Metal, you ask? I will show you right now. You need a stack of every single high tier metal. Then you need all of these materials. Then for Icy Runestones, you can only get one for 1 gold, so it costs like 100 gold just for the Twilight. Then for the Mastery, it's a bit different. You need 200 shards to buy Bloodstone shards. And then this Gift of Exploration, you need to complete the whole map. And then you have the Gifts of Battle, which is basically only obtainable in World v World, a PvP game mode. I actually ate this. And the Gift of Fortune with 77 Mystic Clovers, only 1 per day. you need a stack of every single tier 6 materials, which are like almost 1 gold for only 1. And then you get the Twilight. So is it easy to make legendary weapons on this game? Uh, yes. But oh my god, it takes a very long time. So, December 18, 2023. 5 months after I started grinding for this, I finally got the Twilight. But did you really think it was enough for me? Absolutely not. It was not enough. So, the Twilight was created by a god named Grenth, the god of death. And there is another sword that is the complete opposite from the Twilight, and it's called the Sunrise. And in legends, it is said that if one can wield both of them, he becomes a demigod. And guess who combined the two swords together in order to make one true godlike weapon called the Eternity? It's your boy.